In a small village of Africa lived a girl named Firoah. She was 16 years old, with deep dark skin, bright shining eyes, and curly hair like the night sky filled with stars. Firoah often stepped out of her mud hut at night, gazing at the heavens and weaving dreams. She would whisper, "One day, I too will become a star, one that brings light into the darkness of others." But the villagers laughed at her. "Firoah, stars don't burn with dreams. Hunger and poverty take everything away," they said. Yet Firoah's heart was filled with courage. Life in the village was harsh. Water had to be carried from a distant river, and the fields had turned dry. Firoah often carried clay pots with her mother to fetch water, but deep inside, she longed for a greater world. One night, while the entire village slept, Firoah looked up at the brightest star in the sky. She made a vow in her heart, "I will begin my journey, no matter how difficult it may be." And in that moment, she felt as if the star was shining only for her. The next morning, Firoah prepared for her journey. She said to her mother, "Mama, I want to set out in search of the light." Tears filled her mother's eyes. "Daughter, this world is not easy, but if your heart is true, the paths will open themselves." Her mother handed her a small cloth bag containing some dates, dry bread, and a little wooden necklace that had been passed down through generations from mothers to their children. "This necklace will protect you," her mother said. Firoah stepped out of the village. But not far from home, the forest began. In the jungle, monkeys screeched, parrots cried out, and frightening sounds echoed everywhere. Suddenly, the roar of a lion froze her steps. Firoah's heart began to pound wildly, but she touched the necklace and whispered, "I did not come here to be afraid. I came to search for the light." The lion stepped closer, gazed into her eyes, and then quietly turned away, as if some unseen power had stopped it. Beyond the forest stretched a long, burning desert. The sand scorched under her feet, and the sun blazed like fire. Firoah's feet began to ache, her lips cracked with dryness. The bread and dates in her bag were already gone. She sank to the ground and looked up at the sky. "Oh, star, did you deceive me?" she cried through her tears. Just then, a caravan appeared in the distance, traders riding camels, carrying food and water. They saw Firoah and asked, "Girl, what are you doing alone in the desert?" Firoah replied, "I have set out in search of the light." The traders looked at her with amazement at her courage. They gave her water to drink and food to eat. An old merchant said gently, "Daughter, the path is hard, but for the one who sets out for their dream, even the earth itself creates a way." Those words lit hope in Firoah's heart. She rose again and continued her journey. After many days of travel, Firoah reached the bank of a great river. Its waters raged like a storm, and there was no bridge to cross. She grew anxious. "Is my journey ending here?" she thought. Just then, a boatman appeared. He had a long white beard and eyes glowing with wisdom. He said, "Child, the river always flows, but it takes courage to cross it." The boatman took Firoah into his boat and began rowing her across. On the way, he said, "Remember, the light is not only found outside. It also lives within your own heart." Firoah held those words close to her soul. When she stepped onto the far bank, she felt as though her spirit had grown stronger than ever before. Across the river, Firoah met a girl named Zuri. Her skin was dark and glowing. Her short braided hair framed a playful face, and her eyes sparkled with mischief. She carried a bamboo flute, filling the air with cheerful tunes. Zuri smiled and said, "I've never seen anyone travel this far all alone. Come, let's walk together." Firoah laughed softly. The search for light is not just one person's journey. It can also become the story of those who walk beside us. From that moment, the two girls traveled side by side. They shared laughter, told stories, and eased each other's weariness along the road. During their journey, they reached a village covered in gloom. There were no lamps, no laughter. The people looked weary, and the children were hungry. Firoah whispered, "This is the place that needs light the most." With Zuri playing her flute, Firoah gathered the children together. She told them stories, made them laugh, and sparked hope in their little hearts. Slowly, the villagers too began to smile. Someone murmured with wonder, "This girl herself is a light." But every story carries its share of darkness. A greedy chief did not like what was happening. He growled, "This girl is changing the people. If they find hope, I will lose my power." He ordered his soldiers to capture Firoah. Soon, both Firoah and Zuri were thrown into prison. Fear spread among the villagers once again. Inside the cold cell, Firoah touched the necklace her mother had given her and whispered, "Light can never be imprisoned." The children and women of the village gathered courage and stood outside the chief's palace. They shouted loudly, "Free Firoah!" Inside the prison, Zuri lifted her flute and played a melody. The tune was so powerful that it set fire in the hearts of the people. The villagers broke down the prison gates with sheer determination. Firoah stepped out and declared, "To stand against the darkness, this is the true light." That night, when everything had finally become calm, Firoah looked up at the sky once more. The same star was shining brighter than ever. At that moment, she understood the truth. The star was never outside. The star was her. Her courage, her love, and her sacrifice were the real light. Firoah returned to her village, but she was no longer the same girl. The people looked at her and said, "This is not just our daughter. This is our star." Firoah smiled and replied, "Light grows when it is shared. Come, let us all become light for one another." And so, Firoah's story spread beyond her village, across the entire land. The climax was clear. Firoah herself had become the star. And if you enjoyed this video, don't leave without liking and commenting. For more stories like this, welcome to Ayshi Tales.